Good morning, guys. Today we're going to have a look at the Mini, the K Swap Mini. It's come back, finally. It's been however long, but it's here. It's not finished yet. And this is not my problem, but it's here on the other side of the shutter with the blue Mini, which we'll discuss today as well. And essentially the plans for both of them. So we're going to get the shutter up and see what we have lurking for us outside. Start with the blue one. The blue one I bought as something to drive and something to play with whilst the K Swap one was still in the garage, seemingly having work done. It doesn't really fit the bill anymore for me, especially if you've watched my last video. You'll have seen that I bought a Megane RS for track. I'm not carrying on with this. So this blue one will probably be broken for parts. There's a few nice parts on it, and if you're interested then message me here and we can definitely have a chat about some of the parts that are sat on the car ready to be sent out. Some of it already has gone, I've sold on eBay or Facebook, and there's definitely still some nice bits left on that, from wheels to the R56 big brake kit up front. The manifold is a Scorpion manifold, Miltech system, to the seats inside, facelift lights, and well, there's a few bits, and pretty much all of that car will be broken for parts. Why break it? Well, technically it's worth more in parts than it is complete, and that's only because there's some issues with it that need addressing that probably won't be too cheap to fix. So again, breaking it. It makes me quite sad to say that I'm going to break that car, because that colour is one of my favourites, although it's disliked by the community as a whole as being one of the worst colours, but for me it's just beautiful. But anyway, that's the blue one. Let's move over to the K Swap. Now this has been a royal pain in my ass for the last year whilst it's been at the garage. Nothing to do with the garage, nothing to do with anything really, but more for my own personal reasons. This has just not been moving as quickly and as nicely as I wanted it to, mainly because we've strapped the fucking turbo to it, and it's caused more headaches than I originally thought, because it wasn't part of the plan. But now that it's on, I don't want it to go back to being NA. I want it to be finished with the turbo. And the garage have been working out how it can fit in place, because there's certain things that I want to make sure is on this car, in terms of how it's mounted in there for, well, obviously one is safety, and two is just the way it looks a bit more OEM. We're using the Mini gearbox mount. We're using the Mini top engine mount. It just looks like it should be in there. But that's come with headaches to try and fit the turbo. Why is it back? Well, time. The garage have put so much time into this, and in terms of wiring and stuff that really have been behind the scenes, the gear selectors, the shifters, the wiring, setting up the sump for the return oil feed or whatever it's called, and it's all in there, just needs finishing off. And this needed to be brought back to me so that, well, I can work on it and video it, but also it gets it out of the garage's hair. It's been there, well, too long if I'm honest. So it was time for the car to come back to me, so I can decide what I'm going to do with it, what's going to be next. Because it's a really well set out car. BC Racing coilovers, K20 engine with a whopping turbo on it, some really nice lightweight OZ wheels. Just needs finishing. So what I've agreed to do with the garage is to bring it back. It can sit here probably now until the new year, whilst I settle into the house, whilst I open the third store, so that this isn't in their way. It's not causing them a headache and they're having to keep moving it on and off ramps, which I know they've been doing, and thank you very much Slideways for housing this for such a long time. And I can just readdress it in the new year with a fresh mind, and I've not got all these other things going on away from trying to get this car finished. So we've left it as it sits here. It has the wiring pretty much boxed off. The ECU is sat inside. Wiring just needs to be fed through the firewall again, because we pulled the engine out recently to re-weld, put a new clutch in it, obviously for the turbo. It's cold out here today, and I've been told that for the screen that I've bought, the custom bezel is being made to house the screen in place, because the standard dials weren't doing the job that I wanted it to do. So I bought I think it's a 7-inch screen to sit in place of the original dials, and it'll tell me everything from boost to temperatures, speed, rev range. Just make it a little bit of a nicer place to be, and it's cool to see. Another reason for it coming back here is because of this. It got reversed into by a van. Definitely safer down here because, well, this is my little unit, my little yard. Nothing comes in here that I don't know about. Huge thank you to everyone that's messaged me and keeps inquiring about this car. It means so much to me that this little car has inspired so many people to do the same thing and get out there and put one of these engines into this car. So that's it for now. The grey one will sit here, look pretty in its own right. The blue one will inevitably be broken for parts. But for now, take care. I'll see you very soon. Catch you in a bit.